like to introduce Mr. Arun Prem. So he has got nearly 14 years of experience in industry and academia. So Mr. Arun has been working in the Department of Management Studies as a professor in Athanasios College for Advanced Studies, Thiruvalla, Kerala. For the past 8 years, he had completed his post-graduation in Management Studies from Cochin and specialized in Information Technology and Marketing. He is also pursuing his doctoral program. So to be proud to inform that I am his guide, and he has started his career in the IT industry as sales officer, handled international assignments as senior business executive, Middle East operations, United Arab Emirates and Qatar. He has also served as a business development manager with Unisys. Before joining this college, he was working as BDM, business analyst with InfoPark, Cochin, Kerala. So hope he is the right person to speak about this topic. And I request all the participants to be very alert listening the session, and if you have any doubt at the end of the session, you will be unmuted. You can clarify all your doubts. I hope this program will be very useful to one and all present here. Thank you once again, Mr. Arun, and all the faculty members who has coordinated this event and who has been cooperating with me throughout this semester. Thank you.
Thank you.
So now the session is yours. Yes.
Sure, madam. Sure. Thank you, ma'am, for that kind words, kind introduction. And it's a pleasure to meet you online. We have been facing these kind of pandemic issue nowadays. Okay. And it's my pleasure. It's my privilege to speak to almost 64 participants are online. I hope others also will join in the due course. And some of my students are also there. And I'm very happy that even if I cannot see you, we'll interact, as ma'am mentioned, after the session. We'll be able to speak or interact. Any queries related to this? Yes, of course, you may ask me. Okay, and I hope you all are safe during these days. Take care of your family and take care of yourself. And hope this particular unwanted environment, this pandemic issue will be over soon, and let's cross our fingers and pray for that. So with that note, I would like to extend thanks to Merlin ma'am, and to she have approached me to take a session to you all, and I just asked her, okay, what is the topic and all, and I find it this topic very interesting because we know that after this particular pandemic issue, it is all, especially student side, they are worried about what is their job and all. And this particular job segment or sector, in the sense business analytics and data science, arena is always there in the future also. So that's why I just had a word with ma'am and to take you through this particular session. And she said okay, and I had prepared a small presentation with the stipulated time, and let's see during the interaction. And I'll share the slide. I'll have the presentation. In between, if you have any query, of course, you can use the chat box, and in the sense, if you want to interact with me. If you have any questions, to be specific, let's reserve that at the end of the session. So I want this to be interactive. We know that we cannot speak, right, because of this issue. We can use the chat window, and I'll be sharing some links as well. So be with me. So with that note, let me share my screen. To be frank, this particular topic is very vast. It's very vast, and I know that to whom I'm speaking to, the audience, I got an idea whereby you are commerce, right? Commerce background, and some of the management students are also here, I believe. And then, of course, our faculty colleagues are also here. So once I took this particular topic, it's very vast, and so that's why I had confined my presentation in such a way that only the required material, at the end of the presentation, some validation has to happen, right, at student then. So I prepared my presentation accordingly. Now, business analytics, I know that you are not learning, right, the subject. That's what I got the info. This particular subject, it's all about forget the business part. No, when this particular analytics is applied in business, yes, it can be coined as termed as business analytics. But mere analytics is not a new term, in fact. Okay, this particular analytics is there around the globe for so many years. So if you look back the history of business analytics or the evolution part of business analytics, you could see it dates back to even the 18th century. Okay, so we are in 21st century. So before even the 18th century onwards, or even before that, this particular domain was there. Okay, so it's been there around, and it got this particular notice during these days only, when it's a new term related to data science and all. It started around 2011 to be specific. It became more of a close to business domain after the invent of technology, in sense the enhancement of technology only. This particular topic of business analytics got a real buzzword actually. I'll start with some of the evolution part, the historical part of this analytics, not business analytics, to be specific analytics. So as I mentioned, it have been there for almost right from 18th century onwards, right? So a very familiar diagram, right? A very familiar picture. So what is this is all about? So I think the participants, they are able to interact in the chat box, ma'am. Is it possible for them to interact in the chat box? That facility is there. Fine, it's okay, no problem. Now this particular yes, we can see the screen. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. So yeah, they are marking their attendance, it seems. Okay, in between I'll ask some queries. Okay, participants, you may also use the chat box to share your reviews. We know that this particular pyramid, one among the popular constructions, right? And there was no technology at that time, right? No technology at that time, and they came up with all these kind of beautiful buildings. It's symmetric, right? The construction and all. So even at that time, even the construction of pyramid, how to measure these and all, okay, at that time itself they started this particular analytics. So it's not a new domain, new thing, right? And there are whereby even in Egypt also, they are actually predicted the flooding of Nile river. It's very famous, right? And those people, they are able to know, okay, when this particular river will be flooding. Now in this case, okay, I'm talking from Kerala. I'm from Alapi. We know the backwaters, okay, in our state, Kerala state, and now we are thinking, debating about how to predict flood, but they are doing that years back, right? So that is the beauty of this analytics. So it is there around. That is one. And if you look back go back to 18th century, the beginning of 18th century, there was one reference whereby there was a banker. In fact, he actually learned this particular customer's behavior, and he was doing good compared to his competitor, that other banks, right? So now we are talking about this new generation banks entering into competition, but that happened even before that. Okay, so it's not a new thing. Fine. Now I'll show you another one. So just tell me what is this, okay? Any idea from the participant side? Any idea who is this guy? Okay, there's some cars out there. It's an old pic. It's a black and white picture. Any idea who is this guy? It's very popular. Okay, very popular. It's okay. Any guessworks will do the work. Okay, so you can. Yes, good. Toji, yeah, Toji is my student. So Toji, yes, it is Ford. To be specific, Henry Ford. Okay, so if you remember this particular Henry Ford, he's actually came up with something called as assembly line manufacturing. We know nowadays all the car manufacturing. If you visit all these Toyotas, even BMWs and all, it's very automated, right? Artificial intelligence enabled all this manufacturing activity. And this guy, Henry Ford, had actually used analytics even before these companies. Before this assembly line, you could see line by line, each product, you could see all these cars out there, after first car, second car, and even it's a combination of human and the automated machinery, right? So this assembly line manufacturing concept was put forward by this particular guy, and he had actually used analytics, right? Interesting. So yes, you rightly mentioned, Toji, this is Henry Ford, and he had actually measured the speed of assembly line using analytics. Okay. Now the next question to you, do you like stories? Just give me a so no. Okay, so don't worry. I mean, I'll not ask any, no, I will not call any name of participants, and then I'll ask questions. Just tell me, do you like stories? Of course, everyone likes stories, right? Yeah, now I'm getting responses. Janani, Roshima, Satya, okay, yeah, Toji again. Yes, so instead of giving you all these numbers and all, I'll give you some stories, okay, real life stories, real business stories to be specific, whereby how those companies have actually used analytics to their benefits. Very interesting stories, okay, and some of them you will be remembering, you will be able to recollect also. And in management studies, in commerce also, it is called as case studies. Okay, so any real life business example whereby a business faced some problem, and because of something, okay, that business problem got resolved. Okay, so if that is the case, that is called the case study. Some problem occurred, and yeah, something happened, and you had actually resolved the problem. Okay, so I'll take you through a couple of stories, and then we'll see some theoretical aspect related to what is the process of business analytics. So that's it, nothing more. Okay, so I'll just give you a framework of what is business analytics, and then I'll take up the questions. Okay, and the presentation in such a manner that I'll give you some basic guidelines to how to move on. Those people who are aspirants who would like to work as a business analyst or in the analytical arena in the future also, if they want to pursue their career in the future. I know that graduation, maybe you haven't seriously thought about your career. Maybe after PG and all, then you'll think about all your career and all. But still, I'll rather tell you, it's high time that you start thinking about your career. What will be my future? What kind of career? What I'm good about? Okay, so based on that, what will be my future? What's my career? So just start thinking about, and then plan accordingly. So I prepared the presentation in such a manner. Okay, so yes, as you like, you like stories. So let me show you or go through some stories. Let's see. Yeah, maybe the boys will respond, I believe. So what is this? Who is this guy, and what is this incident? Anyone? Who is this guy? Yeah, you could understand from the jersey itself, right? Who is this guy? I hope you're able to see the photograph. Any idea? At least from the jersey. It's a football team, right? Football team. And what happened? Any idea? Okay, if you remember the 2000, I'll give you a clue. If you remember the 2014 FIFA World Cup. Okay, 2014 FIFA World Cup. What happened? FIFA 2014 World Cup semi-final. Okay, what happened? Any idea? Just respond. No problem. No, based on when you respond, okay, I'll be able to provide more support also. Fine. So yeah, for the information, this particular analytics is not only used by Ford and all. In fact, this particular analytics is being used in sports also. Okay, whether it's football, whether it's cricket, whether it's even a game like NBA, I mean basketball and all. Yes, they have been using analytics. Okay, so for the information, this we know that who won this particular match. Is it yeah, the other jersey players are Germany. Who won the match? Brazil versus Germany during a semi-final, head-to-head semi-final. Yes, I think so. Just correct. Germany won the match, right? And you could see the goal margin is close to seven goals by Germany, and Brazil could score only 1 goal. Interesting, right? And this is also a home ground match for Brazil. That is also, you have got the ground support of your country, and you're playing in your home ground, and then you haven't won the match. Okay, so you could see the image of then captain. Okay, and he's very worried about the result, and there is a crooked analytics played around in that particular match also. And for the information, SAP is a very known, and it's very popular. You must have heard in between in some of your classes, or maybe it's a very familiar name, SAP. When it comes to ERP and all, SAP is very familiar, right? And this guy, Lewis, right? He's David Lewis. He was a then captain, and he was very much worried just because this particular particular Brazilian team, I would say German team, had actually used SAP software to analyze, to do the video analytics. So that means before each game, they'll analyze the videos of their opponents, how they move, how they do the passes, right, between players, and from which area the scoring will happen, will shoot the goal, how they are managing the ball possession, right? So they are actually converting all these things into quantifying all these things by merely looking at the videos. Okay, and this particular tools or software called as Match Insights, developed by SAP. SAP itself is a German-based company, and that German-based company had actually developed this software called as Match Insights to German team, and they're actually able to tackle the opponent and then 7-1 with a highly reputed team in their home ground. Okay, very interesting. Okay, now after this presentation, maybe you just go back to YouTube and watch this video. Okay, the ball possession of Germany is more than, I think, 70% or so. That means every time all the players, any of the players, German player will be having the ball. They'll be handling all these things. Okay, and the man marking, in football, that's called as man marking, and they have identified who is a strong player in German team, who is a striker, and what is a weak point of that striker, how he'll actually convert that particular opportunity to a goal. All those things they had learned merely by looking at a huge amount of videos, and this software did the analytics part, right? Interesting. So that is one. Moving on, another example I could tell you. So what is this? Okay, could you tell me from the logo? We know that it's a big supermarket, right? Could you tell me from the logo what is this? What is the name of this? It is one of the reputed retail chain. Okay, supermarket. Any idea? Good, Toji. This is called as Walmart. Okay, Walmart. Those people who haven't heard about Walmart is actually a US-based company, US-based retail giant actually. Okay, and you must have heard the news also in 2018, a couple of years back. Okay, we know that in Indian e-commerce industry, the rivals are Amazon and Flipkart. Flipkart was a market leader earlier, and then Amazon is in the first position when it comes to B2C segment. Okay, in the case of e-commerce, right? So this particular Walmart want to enter to Indian market, and what they did 2 years before, they had actually bought 77% of stake, okay, of Flipkart. Right? Just imagine the amount they had spent, almost $16 billion US. Okay, they had spent for this purchase. Just want to make sure that they need to. We know that the Indian consumers, we are using e-commerce nowadays. Not only nowadays, we have been the culture of using e-commerce, right? So this particular company called as Walmart had actually have invested in India also. Okay. Now, I want to share some other story of Walmart. Okay, so it's related to some products. Okay, so of Walmart, how they actually manage this. Okay. Now, this is one interesting story of Walmart. Okay, it happened on a fine day, on a fine week. Okay, the analytics executive in Walmart, he had found out that something curious. Okay, he found out that okay, the baby diaper sales are up, and even the beer sales are also up on a weekend, especially during Fridays. Okay, so they could wonder, why this is happening. If you compare this particular diaper, baby diaper, and the beer, it is not connected in any ways. Okay, but on Fridays these sales are up. Okay, it is related. Okay, so they had actually found out something called impossible correlation. Right, the diaper sales are up and the beer sales are also up. Now they started wondering, okay, how this is gonna happen. Okay, we know that okay, if on February, right, you used to purchase flowers and the chocolates on a Valentine's Day. And chocolates and flowers, yeah, it is understood. Chocolates and flowers, it is related. Pen and book, it is related. Bread and butter, it is related. But baby diaper and this one, right, beer, how it is related. But that is a reality. In fact, they had found out an impossible correlation, and when they had the analytics team, when they found out okay, what was the case earlier, what was the scenario going on, they found out that most of the young dads, I'm talking about US culture, young dads, they'll do the weekend shopping. Okay, young dads will walk into a Walmart, they'll do the weekend shopping. Along with that, they'll purchase diaper, and it's a weekend, right? Saturday and Sunday is a holiday, and they'll purchase this beer also. Okay, so in this retail showroom, or in the in Walmart retail, this diaper will be kept in one space, shelf locality. The beer may be kept in some other location, but still there is a correlation. You know what is a correlation, right? Correlation, what is correlation? Correlation means, okay, so for example, if you talk about a rainy season, here in Kerala it's a rainy season, right? During the rainy season, the umbrella sales will go up, right? So rainy season and umbrella sales, it is correlated. Raincoats sales will go up. Fine. During a summer season, the ice cream sales will go up, right? So yeah, you know that, or you'll be learning that. If you haven't learned about this thing, you'll be learning also. So this impossible correlation, and they found out this particular story, and then what they did is like they kept on Fridays, they kept all these products, okay, the beer and the other one, diaper, in a close to shelf, same almost close to shelf spaces they had actually kept. After that, they had seen that even the further sales, it had gone up. Okay, so again, so you are getting all these kind of insights when you do these kind of thing. And this activity in marketing term, it is called as market basket analysis. Okay, it is called as market basket analysis. In the sense, you must have seen when you go to a supermarket, when you visit a supermarket, okay, there are some bundled products. Okay, maybe if you buy a bread, okay, there will be one offer whereby, okay, this particular bread also, I mean butter also will be there, with maybe some discount and all. So they are trying to cross-sell this bread with butter. Okay, so that particular feature in marketing, in comes to marketing analytics. Okay, there's a domain in marketing. Those people who want to work as in marketing area, who'd love to work in marketing area. There's something called as marketing analytics, and this is one typical example whereby market basket analysis. Okay, so the beer and diaper, fine, and they had seen that this trend is now prevailing in almost all the supermarkets in US. Okay, so nobody will think of this particular correlation, and then this happened. Okay, so another example. Any idea what is this? Okay, any idea what is this? Okay, I'll explain. This is before even Corona, there was something called as Ebola. Okay, so Nowadays we are familiar with all these pandemic names and all. So Ebola was again another epidemic which Africa got hit previously. And this particular it's a hand-drawn picture of a patient, in fact Ebola affected patient in Africa. It's in a rural clinic only, to do the contact tracing. Now that word is very familiar nowadays, corona contact tracing and all. So this particular hand-drawn picture was there. So you could see this is a outskirts Liberia, to be specific, a rural village in Liberia. So you just take some time to read that particular story. At the bottom of the picture you could see this. You have to be a Sherlock Holmes, right? If you want to trace the contact, if you're working as health worker, if you want to trace the contact, you have to be a Sherlock Holmes, right? And this particular clinic in Liberia, and they're actually hand drawn this. This is just one example only. Then what happened is they started using analytics in there for contact tracing. Now also we are using it, for the information. And you must have heard in news also, like nowadays it's all about it. Wherever you visit or see internet, television, newspapers, it's all about related news, right? So this particular company in Africa, they had actually traced the caller list, in the sense the phone calls of Ebola affected patients, and they traced what is a phone call, to whom they are calling, and then this particular telecom sector data, that tracing is done by healthcare sector. So suppose a patient is having Ebola affected, so this particular patient may be calling some other maybe relatives or maybe their contacts and all. So they could trace, based on the phone calls, they could trace, from this particular geography to it is spreading to maybe the nearest place. And we know that Wuhan is the epicenter of COVID, and then it got spread to other, right? And they had made attempt to shut down the nearest town and all. So this particular practice was actually done at that time also by looking at the telecom data and the healthcare data. So you could see, after this particular geographical area in particular locality in Africa, maybe this will be spreading to this particular locality, next locality, right? So in that manner, you'll be able to understand, even they had actually used analytics in that. Interesting, right? So these two industry, telecom industry and the healthcare industry, they are interacting. So analytics is not a domain of one particular industry. You could read the benefit of across different industries, across different companies, across different business functions. That is possible. So this is one example. Moving on. So all these examples we had seen the way in which how this particular Walmart is reaping the benefit. Right from the history we had seen pyramids, whether it's assembly line manufacturing of Henry Ford, even the retail segment, right, sector, if you talk about the Walmart and all, even coming back to this, how this healthcare, telecom, right? So all these things are boiling down to something called as data science, right? So very familiar, right? You must have heard about this, a very familiar term, which is called as data science. Now I'll touch upon some theoretical aspect related to data science. So you could see the definition out here. Data science is interdisciplinary. That means it is not an exclusive property of one department, or one company. Interdisciplinary. What is interdisciplinary? So it may be used by manufacturing, it may be used by marketing, it may be used by HR. So that's why you could see marketing people will use marketing analytics. HR people will use something called as HR analytics. In the sense, for example, in future, if you are working as HR manager, you could actually predict, this particular employee will not be sticking with me. There's a higher chance that this particular employee will be leaving my company, putting a resignation letter. So that particular, you'll be able to see using HR analytics. Manufacturing, supply chain analytics. So that means it is not the exclusive property of one discipline only. It is not an exclusive property of management studies. It is not a property of computer science, not commerce, right? It is interdisciplinary. So it is connected across all the departments. Of course, you need to have scientific methods, means formalized process for that. Okay, algorithms, I'll talk about that. And why are you doing this? To extract knowledge. You want to get the correct how this particular Walmart is able to understand. Okay, this particular two products are correlated. That's a knowledge for them, right? Fine. So this finding patterns out of this thing is called as data mining. So we could tell Walmart had actually data mined and understood that beer and the diaper sales are correlated, right? So nobody will think of that correlation, but using data only, right? They look back the previous purchase of customers, and then they had identified a pattern. Okay, what is a pattern? On Friday, these sales are up. So that's how they identify the pattern. Okay, so that particular activity is called as data mining. That means nowadays we know that we'll be dealing with the two types of data, to be specific. You could see here structural data or structured data, organized data, and unstructured data. Unstructured means unorganized data. To tell you an example, any idea? Can you tell me one example for the structured data in the chat box? If anyone could make a wild guess or so. Example for structured data. What is structured data? Arranged in a proper manner. Okay, so any example you could think of is structured data, so that it is arranged in an organized manner, proper manner. Okay, I'll tell you an example. Tables. Okay, tables. Dates, for example. DDMMYY. Date, month, year. So there's a structure for that particular data. If you talk about, say, student data, okay, students data, yes, Jamuna, date and time, yes. Even time also, Jamuna mentioned about time also. Time is hours, even minutes and seconds. So there's a format for that. It is structured. Even if you talk about tables, for example, if you talk about the college data, okay, so students data, so student table will be having a student roll number, student name, student address, maybe student phone number, maybe, right? Student's email ID, okay, which course this particular student has studied. So the data is structured. Column of the table, I'll be able to get the structured data. Fine. So that was very easy, right? Your all the information is stored, arranged in a structured format. So if you want to do any analysis, it is very easy for you because it is structured. But what about now? The world in which we are living now, the internet world in which we are living now, the Instagrams, the Facebooks, the YouTubes, all those are data only, right? YouTube, for example, Netflix. Tell me which is your favorite Netflix series? You used to watch Netflix series? Yes or no? Don't really respond. I mean, it doesn't matter. I won't ask any questions. I just want to see whether you are able to listen to what I'm talking. Have you used to watch all these Netflix series? Yes, Money Heist, right? Tataoji mentioned about Money Heist. Money Heist is very popular, right? Hiroshima, yes, Money Heist, and I think they had actually rolled out a new season, right? Money Heist. And what you notice when you are watching those particular, if you go to Netflix, if you watch all these YouTube videos and all, you could see based on your interest, it will recommend you videos. Suppose imagine that you have gone to YouTube, you had watched the Dhoni's previous cricket matches. Okay, so this system will be able to understand that this particular viewer or visitor is actually looking for this content related to Dhoni. Okay, so you know that you have a taste towards this particular video of Dhoni, and then next time if you log in, you could see it will recommend other videos of Dhoni. Okay, same like in this thing. I mean, in Instagram also, right? You could have experience based on your accounts which you follow. It will recommend. Okay, and at the bottom it will write, okay, based on the accounts which you follow, we'll recommend this particular celebrity maybe. Okay, so that particular arrangement of how it is not a human being who is doing that, it is a machine who is actually, it is called as AI, artificial intelligence. So it will collect data. Okay, you will visit, if you go to Amazon, you'll purchase, you'll visit a page, you'll search for some products. Okay, so based on that, it will recommend you the product. So next time when you log in, this product or related products will be smiling at you. Right? And they'll tell you, okay, customers who bought shirts have also bought this trouser. Recommendation model, it is called a recommendation model in marketing and online marketing and all. So that particular object is called as, activity is called as machine learning. It's very vast, as I said, business analytics. I'm just touching upon the main points which it is close to you. You must have experience in your daily life. So that's why I'm just quoting these kind of examples. Big data, which is always a buzzword, big data. If you go to internet, if you want to do an assignment, for example, right, nowadays you used to search in the Google, right, and you'll get all the assignment, all the information. Now you are confused. Okay, which assignment I should, which information I should choose. So look back. Okay, previously there was no information. Now you are talking about info. You have so much amount of information available. So which is the required information? Big data. So it consists of various types, right? It consists of videos, text data, multimedia. If you go to Facebook, all the Facebook data is generated by users only, us only, right? So you'll go to Facebook. If you see all the posts, all the photos, all the movies shared, all those are generated by some user, and other users are sharing. Again, based on your view, it will also recommend you on these things. Okay. So these kinds of things are called as machine learning, and it is again data science. So all these things, data based on data only, particular machine learning, that is called as algorithm, machine learning algorithm. For example, when you search something in Google, it will list you the result. It is based on some algorithm, some process. Okay. So that is called as machine learning and big data, and that is called as data science. Take home is also interdisciplinary. That means it is not exclusive property of one discipline. It is being spread around. Okay. So based on all this discussion, that is one of the formal definition, I would say, of business analytics. Okay, so you could see here business analytics, so simply analytics. That's what we are seeing the pyramid and all. It is not for business, it is only analytics. But here come back to business scenario. Okay, when we do the data analysis, it is called as business analytics. Okay, so we know that if you want to handle big amount of data, humanly it is very impossible, right? It is a hectic job if you want to analyze data. So that's why you'll seek the help of information system or information technology. So that's why in the definition, even information technology are also there. Okay, statistical analysis. You want to do data analysis, statistical analysis, it is called quantitative data analysis. How this particular Walmart is able to see there's a correlation between the X product and Y product. They have looked back the statistical and they did the statistical analysis based on their previous purchase of customers. They understood, okay, this is happening based on that only, not just merely telling, okay, there is a correlation between this product and this product. They are not telling from their just as it is, based on the data only they're telling. Okay, so based on that, they'll be able to understand the pattern and build models, that is called as computer-based model, and then serve the customers accordingly. Okay, so that means you can make decision. So based on all these things, why we are looking for data, why we are looking for this kind of thing, the manager want to make decisions. Walmart made a decision whereby these two products can be kept in the same shelf because people are buying it. Okay, so that's a decision made based on the data. Okay, so another second point, a supporting point, a process of transforming data into actions through analysis and insights, and again boiling down to something called as decision making and problem solving. Okay, so that is one definition for your information. And you could see business analyst, if you want to work as a business analyst also, you are a mediator actually. You are a mediator between the customer and the tech guy. The IT or developer guy, he'll be able to develop softwares. He may not be having the know-how of how to speak with customers. but you have the ability of speaking with customers, how to talk with customers, and also you have the ability of doing the analysis also. So that means you'll act as a mediator between the customer, stakeholder means the customer also, and then the development. Okay, and there is a wrong notion that business analytics is a domain of IT guys only. That's the wrong notion. For example, in future also, if your flyer is towards HR, you can work as a HR analyst. You don't want to have the all this technical knowledge related to IT. You could work as a HR analyst in a company, maybe in a manufacturing company. It is possible, right? Production, for example, manufacturing. You could also work as a production manager. So it's not like this particular cup of tea. The business analytics cup of tea is only for the IT guys only. No, it's a wrong notion. Even if you're good in statistics, if you're good in finance and all, you could work as a financial analyst in banks, insurance, for example. Right? So after commerce, of course, you want to maybe higher choice, maybe MCom. Yes, there are chances. You could work as financial analyst in the future also. It is possible. Fine. And then keep an eye on this particular subjects. I don't know whether you are learning these subjects now. Could you just confirm? These are the subjects name which I am listed in the slide. Anyone, any of you are learning that subject, these subjects, or at least had learned previously these subjects? Okay, if not, okay, keep an eye on these subjects. Okay, don't think that statistics is very difficult to learn. For the information, statistician is a highly paid job. Okay, nowadays, trust me. Quantitative techniques for management. Okay, so that is another area. Operational research and management science. You'll be learning that in your PG and all. Maybe in MCom also you'll be learning this subject. Even if you want to pursue MBA also in future also you'll be learning this subject. Research methodology is always there, right? So information system, yes. So all the business analytics, if you want to experience or if you want to upskill yourself in business analytics arena, okay, keep an eye on these subjects. Okay, so listen to your statistics professor, listen to, so doesn't mean that only listen to these classes only. Yes, being student, we need to listen to all classes, but keep an eye on these subjects if you are flying towards analytics arena. Okay, so please make a photograph of that slide in your memory. So it will find it very useful in the future also. Now I'll cover some theoretical, the basics only. So for the information, I'll say this is the entire picture of business analytics. Okay, the process, I'll say the process of business analytics. For the information, it is called as ascendancy model. There are so many names for this particular model, business analytics, and this is called as Gartner's analytics ascendancy model. Gartner is actually a research company, just like McKinsey, PwC, and all. Gartner is a research company only, and every year they'll publish Gartner's hype cycle. In the sense, we know that the technology today, one technology will be there. After 1 year, this technology may become obsolete. Okay, so Gartner will publish every year. You just do a Google search, you'll get all this information. Okay, I just do a Google search, Gartner's hype cycle. Okay, hype, HYPE. Okay, so you'll get all these things. I'm typing this thing in the chat box also. Gartner's hype cycle. Okay, if you do a Google search, you could get the information. Every year they'll publish. Okay, such one model is this, which is ascendancy model. And they are saying that, okay, every company will be having a business value. In the sense, every company want to make profit. Okay, and they have data with them. Right, and if they want to do the analysis, okay, it will become difficult. Okay, over a period of time, it will become more difficult. And this is a process. I'll explain some examples, of course. First stage is foremost stage in any business analytics is called descriptive analytics. Okay, once that is done, then only you will move on to the next level, which is called as diagnostic analytics. You could see the question is very important. What happened to my sales? Okay, so why that sales were down? What will happen to my sales in the future? I'm facing a business problem. How can we make it happen? How can we achieve this particular sales target? So see, the questions are same. The domain is same only, right? Sales. But you are asking different question. Okay, what happened to my last month's sales? You got the information. That information is already available with me. Okay. Why did this particular sales were down during maybe during July to this month? Because of Corona is one of the factor, right? Why did this happen? The sales is down. That's a problem, right? Diagnostic means you are facing a problem. Your sales are down. Okay, so if you go like this, what will happen in the future? Prediction. We love astrology, right? We want to see our future. So predictive analytics. Prescriptive. So prescription. Doctor will write a prescription. In the sense, okay, there are so many options in front of you. Decision making. If you want to make a decision, you'll have a problem. You'll have all the problems, all the alternative solutions are arranged, right? You'll pick the best solution. You'll implement it. You'll go for the feedback. Look the feedback. Okay. So the decision making process, prescriptive analytics. So this is a picture of the entire business analytics subject, and I'll say predictive analytics is being used across all the industries. For example, even now also the big question in our mind is, okay, when this particular pandemic will be over? So if somebody will come up with a predictive model, okay, based on the current spread across the world, even in our country, when this particular pandemic will be over, you could do a prediction based on the data only. So I'm not telling like in the future, okay, this will be over in this particular date. Based on the data, I could predict the future. Okay, so that is a thing is all about. And if you go up the ladder, it will become more difficult. Okay, so that's why hindsight. Okay, if you go to the next level, this level, insight, and then if you go to the last level, which is called the foresight. Okay, so each one I'll just have a quick explanation. So these are descriptive analytics, means you'll collect some data, you'll do a survey, you'll collect the data, and then okay, you'll ask these questions. How much did we sell in each region? What was the revenue? So it is you'll get the answer quickly because I already have the data with me. Okay, so as I said, statistics have a major role, especially probability and all. So how this particular descriptive analytics can be done using these quantitative mechanisms: central tendency, dispersion. Okay, so remember all these things. You must have learned also, but in future also when you listen to your statistics class, research methodology class and all, and learn this concept, okay, basic concept and all. So for descriptive analytics, you have to describe the data properly. Okay, so these are the questions you'll be asking, and which is the quantitative techniques you will use. These are techniques. So which is the next level? Next level is called as what? Diagnostic analytics, or otherwise called as predictive analytics. Next level, right? So in the predictive analytics, you could see the questions become much more complicated, right, compared to descriptive analytics. So I'll examine my sales data and I could understand the pattern, just like Walmart did. They had examined the previous data. They found out that these sales are going up. There's a correlation. Identify the patterns. There's a correlation between this particular product and that product. Okay. So you could see some of the questions in the business arena. What will happen if demand falls by 10%? What will happen to my supplier cost, maybe? Now we are talking about the petrol prices are going up, right? And the diesel prices are also. So you could predict, okay, today this much is maybe per liter cost in Kerala, I think 84 rupees or so for petrol. So based on this, okay, we could see, okay, after 1 month, what will be the future based on the data only. Predictive analytics. Now, if you want to start a business, you want to invest somewhere, okay, what is the risk of losing money? Whether I'll get hit the jackpot, whether I'll get the thing back, the money back, all those things, okay? So in that model, which is the quantitative techniques, you'll be using regression, for example, ANOVA, and again, research methodology related subjects, okay? And quantitative techniques also you'll be, learning all these things, regression, again, statistics related to that, okay? So relationship between customer has to be happy, customer satisfaction, for example. If the customer want to be happy, there are so many factors, right? Customer satisfaction dependent. Independent variables are maybe they want to be looking for the product color. What is the warranty of the product is another variable, right? So there's a relationship you are trying to understand, and that is again regression. you could see that this is a two variables. The demand falls by 10% is one variable, and what will happen to supply cost is another variable. So you're actually trying to find out the relationship. Okay, so and then understand what will be the future. And these are the tools which you will use. When it comes to prescriptive analytics, you could see you must have learned LPP, right? Yes or no? LPP, linear programming problems. Okay, you'll give all the constraints, you'll get all the constraints. Okay, you want to maximize profit, minimize cost. You want to produce this product. You want to maximize the productivity, right? So in that cases, you will go for something called as prescriptive analytics. It is called as optimization, and these are the quantitative techniques you will be using. Linear program, decision theory. Decision means you will be having so many alternatives, right? So as professional or personal, we'll have so many alternatives arranged, and then based on those alternatives, we have to choose the best decision, best solution. Okay, so that those kind of problems where you are confused. Okay, this kind of you could see the questions, right? For banks, is a very difficult question to answer, right? What is the ideal amount of money to be stored in an ATM? We know that for SBI and all, there are so many ATMs out there. In which town, what is the amount to be stored? Okay, so that is again no question. So that is prescriptive analytics. And every you could say this is called as concept of dashboard. Okay, dashboard it actually came up from the automobile segment only. We know that being a manager, you'll be exposed to so much amount of data. Okay, so you want to look this particular data, that data, and then you could make decision. So it will be easy for you to get all the data in one screen. Okay, so that particular concept is called as dashboard. So you could see the automobile dashboard whereby the real-time data you could see, right? What is the current speed? I'm maybe traveling. It's close to 60 km/h, and I got almost half of my tank, right? Fuel indicator, real-time data. That is my accelerator, right? So all this data, and I can see my range also. With this fuel, what will be what the distance I could travel, right? So this is not this is real-time. When you're driving, okay, the driver will be able to see the real-time data. So that's the same scenario for the manager also, right? You'll be having all the data with you. So imagine you're using all these gadgets nowadays, whether it's tab, whether it's all the computer screen, or whether it's mobile phone. So you could see all the graphs, all the data, real-time data. That is very important, and then you'll be able to make decisions. So that means if you want to analyze big data, as I said in the previously, it is humanly impossible, very difficult. So you'll be using certain softwares in your business analytics also for doing the analysis also. So that's why being commerce students, management students also, it's also advisable for you to learn some softwares also, right? So we know that the software was the cup of tea of computer science earlier, but now some of the basics of software, how to do analysis and all, it is very important to understand. So this is called data dashboard. Okay, all the information in one window. And these are some of the softwares available. MS Excel for the information. Even companies are also using these softwares nowadays. Excel Miner is a plugin with MS Excel. Excel Analytical Server Platform. SPSS must be, you must have heard. Okay, it was used for social science, management science and all, and then now they had actually renamed that as Statistical Products and Service Solutions. Okay, so R Studio is another software. Okay, Python, yes, is there. Power BI. Tableau is a software whereby if you want to see in the previous slide I shown you the graphs and all. So if you want to see your data in the form of graphs and all, okay, Tableau. Hadoop is actually a database management, big data management. If you want to do big data management, Hadoop is a supporting software for that. Selenium is actually a ID, integrated development environment. Being a commerce or management study, you don't have to learn all these things. At least get some grip in maybe one or two softwares, and then you'll be able to do. It's very easy. Trust me. I mean, it's not very difficult to understand all the things. Kaggle, for example, Kaggle is actually a product from Google only, and it got rolled out back in 2010. Okay, and that means if you go to Kaggle, it's free. Actually, you could go to Kaggle and you could get data sets free data sets published by the data scientists. That means you'll be able to get connected with the different data scientists and get the data and all. So Kaggle is also another tool. So it's just a quick snap view of different softwares are available. Okay. And I'll recommend this course to you. In fact, I had recommended this particular course to my students as well. And also during this lockdown period and all, they had also completed so many courses in Coursera, edX and all. And this is a free course for your information. This is a course offered in Predictive Analytics by IIM Bangalore. Okay, and I think before October you need to enroll. It's not limited to anyone could enroll, and they'll be conducting exam also. I don't know based on this pandemic situation when they'll be conducting the exam. And once you crack that exam, okay, you'll be getting a certificate from Swayam platform, even IMB. Okay, so this course I also recommended to my students. Also, they're doing it. This is free. That is a highlight before October. Okay, if you could do this, this is well and good. And these are some references which I took. Okay, and yeah, that's it from my side, and I'll wait for any queries or questions from the audience side. So if you have any queries, I know that I took say 10 minutes ahead. Yeah, 10 minutes. So I'm supposed to complete by 12, 15, 12, 20. So I just took 10 minutes. Okay. I hope I was able to give you at least some things to ponder upon. I know that it's a very, very vast area, but still, just my idea is to just take you to the basics of what this concept is all about. And I believe that you got some at least bits and pieces at least of what is the business analytics is all about. Okay, so that's it from my side. I'll share the course link in the chat box as well, so that in future also you could copy that link in the somewhere in your mobile phone on the laptop, and when time permits, okay, enroll in that course and do that. It will be a value addition for you, so that you could learn more related to business analytics. Okay, so that's it from my side. I'll wait for any questions. Okay, I'm stopping the share here. And let me try to post the link in your chat box so that you could be able to get the course link. Okay, I'm just pasting it. Okay, so that is a Swayam platform course. It is there in the chat box. I hope all of you are able to access that link. Okay, so any questions are there in the yeah, it's open to a question and answer session. I mean, if you have any questions or queries, you could post, or you could ask me also. I'll wait for the question. Yes, I think there's a question. Okay, Roshima madam, how far the data technology and business analytics make it possible to improve the economic analysis? Yes, ma'am, that is that's again a debatable issue, because we know that these people, political and the debates going on, what will happen in the future based on so many decisions which they are making. But to be frank, if we have all the data available with us, so if you are able to wisely use all this information properly, of course you will be able to make a better economic analysis, in the sense to which level our country is going on. Even that extent also it is possible to give some idea about you can actually predict. It is possible. But the mechanisms has to be aligned. We know that it is not only one particular, maybe even citizens like us want to see that, okay, we have to have a prosperous life in the future as far as our country is concerned. But other factors also has to be aligned. So let's hope that will happen. But yes, it is possible, ma'am. It is business analytics. It is not means only for business. Just like now we are seeing so many examples. It is possible with the data available. Whether you could see based on this particular demand, okay, what would be the future? How this particular industry will be contributing to our economic development and all. It is possible. Okay, the data has to be proper, because if you deal with the wrong data, of course the output also will be wrong. So that threat is always there when it comes to this kind of analytics. I hope that answers your question, ma'am. Any other questions? I'll wait for any other questions. And along with the feedback link shared by the admin, she shared another link. Okay, so you could use that link even after the presentation also. So click on that link and you'll be taken to a question and just answer that question. So based on this particular session only, even you could do that. After the presentation also at your convenience. It's almost lunch hour, but doesn't matter. That particular link will be open even for 2 days, and you could actually share. Okay, I think another question from Roshima madam. How far the business analytics helpful with big data technology, especially in MSME sectors? Yes, ma'am, that is possible. And in sense, even our MSME industry, so even the small and medium enterprises, government has so many initiatives taken. In fact, we have got the ministry for that as well. But if for the information, I missed out that point. Even the business analytics is not only the cup of tea for big companies only, sports only. Even if you see even small boutiques, okay. So I know one of my friend who is into a small boutique in Cochin, and she is actually doing business analytics, small company, small boutique only, and with that small data, she is able to understand the customer preferences, and then not on a big level, they are doing it. Okay, so business analytics, yes, as you said, it is not only the possibility for big companies also. Even the small companies can also. Whether there is any modern business analytics has introduced to in MSME, I'm not aware about that modern business analytics to be specific. I think all these tools now which we are using, this can be used in MSME also. But I'm not sure about any specific exclusive tool for MSME. It is all about data, ma'am. I think, if you have the sound data with you, the solid data, right, the correct data with you, you can do any kind of analysis, right? It is possible. So that's what my perspective.
Nice session, Mr. Arun. So once again, on behalf of the college and the department, I would like to thank for being with us and giving a great knowledge and insight on this topic, which most of the students and even faculty were not much in depth into this topic. So really helpful for us.
And thank you for this particular wonderful opportunity to spend with you to almost close to 1 hour. And thank you being a wonderful audience.
So thank you once again. So I thank all the faculty members for being coordinating this event.